What were they thinking? Or were they even thinking? This is so off the charts stupid. A 6-hour live web event trying to get young people to sign up for Obamacare, but the marathon quickly turned it into, well, there are no words. You're just going to have to see it for yourself.
First I was afraid, I was petrified.
I kept thinking I could never live without Richard.
You by my side.
Also health insurance. Get covered.
These moves are telling us something.
They are. I think they're saying be flexible about your health insurance options. Get covered. Hashtag
COVERED.
get
Covered for
covered.
you, Richard.
You're so sensual.
I know, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel inspired to tell my friends to sign up online.
COVERED.
Get covered.
Tea Party member Gina Loudon joins us. Gina, that is supposed to get young people to sign up for health care in California. What do you think?
If that's the case, Greta, the generation gap is even worse than I thought. I can't imagine who would be attracted to a 6-hour-long infomercial. Aren't we talking here about the instant gratification generation, the generation of sound bites who wants everything fast, and they decide to put on a 6-hour-long infomercial with an old guy in red tights twerking to "I Will Survive"? I don't see where they were going with this.
You know, even before we get to the point of the cost, which is an issue, is
Right.
that I read Noah Rothman, who writes for a website called Mediaite, says millennials, meaning the young people they're trying to attract, millennials, according to the state of California, must suppose that they are total idiots if they think this is an effective way to get them to buy health care. Total idiots.
I mean, would you not be completely insulted if, first of all, there was a wealth distribution ploy, which this essentially is, which is saying, hey, you take all of your money and invest it into 3 generations ahead of you, into their Viagra or whatever, and then they use Richard Simmons, who's from that generation, to tell you you should open up your pocketbook and subsidize him. It makes no sense. And if I were a millennial, I would be so offended by this.
Except that the one aspect of it, you have to admit, it's almost like sort of a freak show in the sense that you can't pull your eyes off it because it's so bizarre. And let me tell you what else this Noah Rothman said. He said it's psychologically scarring to watch this.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And you almost have to, I mean, God bless Richard Simmons, but the stability, the mental stability has always been sort of, I want to say this politely, but questionable. And this is the person that we're parading out to millennials to say, you know, here's what you go for. I don't know. I really, it's just not even firing any synapses for me. It's just, I can't get there.
I won't go as far as what you said about Richard Simmons, but I will say this: that, you know, the idea. I think the state of California got $80 million for part of their PR blitz for Obamacare for their exchange. $80 million. Imagine if they'd just given the $80 million to the young people in California to pay that first year of the premium.
Wouldn't that have been more straightforward and direct? You know, just handing them, just writing them checks and saying, hey, can we bribe you to go ahead and sign up for Covered California? That seems like a more honest approach than what they're doing, spending all of this money, parading out people that seem random and not relating at all to the millennials. How about having an intelligent conversation with millennials, treating them like they do have a brain? I think that the millennials would be a lot more likely to listen to something like that. But the bottom line is they started with a website that was failed and overpriced, and now they're going to marketing that's going to fail and is overpriced. But see, it doesn't really matter, Greta, because this is all other people's money. This is taxpayers' money they're spending on this. There are no limits.
Well, of course, that's what, you know, that's the Tea Party has been up in arms about that for a long time, sort of the other people's money. But, I mean, at least if they spend other people's money in what might be considered an effective manner. But this is, you know, and this is, I mean, you know, this isn't just one person coming up with this idea. I mean, they actually had to put this together. So we're in California to find so many people that sort of sign off on this that all thought this was a good idea. I mean, who put it together? Who rented the space? Who's the producer? Who signs the checks? I mean, this idea to do this to attract young people to buy health care, I mean, this went through a lot of people.
Yeah, and if you look at it, if you really watch it, it wasn't very well produced. It doesn't even look like they had any sort of a real script or agenda or anything they were going by. No outline, nothing. It was just kind of random and flowing and wandering, and you were really the whole time trying to get where they were going with it. And millennials weren't going to follow that for more than a few minutes anyway, as we all know. So it really makes you wonder. It's almost like they were saying, how much money can we spend? and how fast can we spend it? I mean, that's the feeling you get with Obamacare's marketing team, generally speaking, anyway, I think.
Well, I suspect that this cost a fortune, but it still is what I find so perplexing is who in his right mind thought that this, like, let's get Richard Simmons, let's do something really weird, let's do it on the web, let's spend some money as long as it's not our own, let's spend some money, and this will bring in all these people, like in droves. Young people are necessarily going to come and sign up for health care based on this. I mean, who even comes up with these ideas? I can't get over that.
I can't either, Greta. And the thing that I don't understand is if it's such a great product, if it's such a great idea, if it's so something this country has been in need of for as long as the left has been complaining that we're in need of it, then why can't the product do a little selling of itself? Does it really take $80 million to market this to millennials, to say we need you to subsidize the older generations and the things that they need? How about if it's such a great product, we just are straight up, straightforward with the product, this is what you'll get, this is what you need to spend, and that should connect, right? But they know it won't connect because they know it's not a great product, because they know it's automatically redistribution that the millennials aren't going to want when they catch on. And I'll tell you what, they're waking a sleeping giant, Greta, and pretty soon the millennials are going to wake up to this, and I think it's going to turn into a great big nightmare for them.
Well, you know, even if you were to believe that this is a great product, that this is a really good idea to do, the problem is you have to need the great product in order to want to spend it or buy it. And I'm not so sure that in putting this health care together, they even contemplated the fact that most young people don't think they're going to need this kind of, they think they're healthy. They're not going to need this. That insurance really is for someone who is older. There's a lot of wear and tear on his or her body. Is going to need it. I'll wait until I'm, 35, 45, or 50 to buy it. Young people, the very ones we need to buy it, they may think it's a grand product. They may even like this video for all I know. But it said, unless they have a need for it, they're not going to buy it.
That's it, Greta. The beauty of all this is I think they're creating a generation of capitalists who are going to understand things like supply and demand, because they're going to have had something pushed at them that they never asked for, that they didn't want to pay for, that they didn't have the jobs to earn the money to pay for, and that they couldn't afford when it all shook out. And I think that what they're doing here might be handing a great big favor to the folks on the other side who have always believed in the free market system and in capitalism to begin with.
Well, we'll see if this video goes viral, see where it goes, and see if it's a huge elixir in a sense that gets young people to all run out and sign up for health care. But Gina, thank you very much.
Thank you, Greta.